Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another best of 3. This time we have one from the Kung Fu Cup with MaxPax spawning in the top right as our blue Protoss player, and in the bottom left as our red Terran, it is Gumiho. These two players, I don't think they play each other a whole lot, and I'm kind of curious to see how these styles match up against one another. Gumiho is the type of guy that has different build orders, aggressive often, large focus on the early stages of the game, often followed up by a quick push, while MaxPax is a player that he loves doing the same thing again and again and again, and making minor tweaks, minor improvements to his build, and just sticking with them forever and ever and ever. And that's what he's been doing in PvZ, in PvP, and in PvT. And especially in Protoss versus Protoss and Protoss versus Terran, to great success. I think the matchup in which he's lacking the most is Protoss versus Zerg, where there's probably a bigger benefit to being capable of switching it up. It's too easy for Zerg to drone up to drone counts they want if they know exactly what's coming for them. As MaxPax here, opening up with what seems to me like a Blink build order double gate. We have Blink starting as well, and the robotics facility will go down soon after this Stalker finishes up, or at least that's what I imagine. Starts a Zealot now. That is extremely rare, as our observer here points it out as well. I'm not entirely sure what the Zealot is for. You never see this. So the Zealot doesn't really provide much value to the Protoss army unless there's charge. Okay, it's gonna get cancelled. Now a pylon's gonna get constructed. If you want a better defense, getting batteries is a much better use of your money often. So yeah, seeing that Zealot surprises me. Of course, delays your infrastructure by a little bit as well. Robotics facility now on the way for MaxPax. We're gonna have to wait and see how he's gonna deal with this push. It's going to be a 7 Marine drop, and that will be the only threat on the map. Now, that doesn't look like much, but it's always difficult for Protoss to deal with something like this, especially if you're playing a Stargate opener, which luckily MaxPax isn't. The lower your gate unit count, the harder this is often to deal with. Pylon is going to spot this move in. There are 3 Stalkers done, a 4th Stalker gets warped in. Pylon perhaps in a little bit of trouble, as get a couple of good shots here on the medevac. Nothing dies on the side of Gumiho, as he now starts moving out across the map here with a tank, 4 Marines and a Cyclone. This is indeed going to be a very dedicated early game push. Pretty much what we had expected coming out of Gumiho, yet still always interesting to see. Second tank is out on the way. I think a Liberator got rallied across as well. For now, he's just holding this spot on the map. Oh, Prism is gonna get targeted down. Real nice play there by Gumiho, knowing exactly what he's fighting against. And I think his play might have just been to go across the map and kill his opponent's Prism, or to stop him from moving across and then go back home. No? Okay. We're still gonna see that push out. That makes some sense as well, of course, because you invest a lot in a lot of Marines, you delay your extra barracks, you want to do something with it. But honestly, it would have been a hilarious play for me if he just killed the Prism and then went back home, and he probably would have been in a fine spot. Now he's losing a Cyclone, losing a medevac. Liberator reaches the main base somewhat soon, as we're not really getting any vision of that by our lovely observer. Yeah, we see some workers going down right now. I think Stalkers must be getting warped in there as well. Is one Stalker might get caught? No, not quite. Battery is active. Blink comes in from the back. Immortal shows up, and this push is going to get crushed. It would have been much, much better here for Gumiho had he just stayed home. MaxPax has been investing a crap ton in these Stalkers, in an Immortal. Now is getting a Prism as well. 2 more, 3, 4, 5 workers are going down. 6 workers going down on top of the initial 2 already. So that's a lot of damage there. 3rd CC on the way for Gumiho. 3rd is already done for MaxPax. MaxPax doesn't really have the worker count though to truly do something with it. Let's see if he can do something here with his Blink Stalker pressure. There are 2 tanks out. Is 2 tanks really enough? I think it might be. Actually, it might not be. There we go. Both these tanks are gonna get shot down. Nice play by MaxPax with the good split fire. Gonna run away as he will start kiting these SCVs. Good Blink back as well over there. Keeps most of his Stalkers alive for now. There's no stim quite yet. That means that these Marines and Marauders are not necessarily great against this army. MaxPax finds a lot of damage, and a lot more than I think Gumiho expected. Having these tanks just out of position momentarily can have dire consequences against the player of MaxPax. Excalibur, here we go. Another big blink forward. Combat shield finishing up soon. GG gets called. Gumiho. Aye. Doesn't feel it and loses map number 1 here against MaxPax. Next map is going to be Oceanborn LE. LE just stands for the ladder edition, but it's important to mention anyway. But players sending a very quick worker across the map. For MaxPax, I think this is to block or harass the opponent's barracks. For Gumiho, this is to build the barracks somewhere else. This is close to the opponent's base. This is actually a really interesting interaction here. And the reason why I say that is because I often wondered if this very quick scout, how good it really is for the Protoss if you're being proxied. Because you need to find the barracks still. If you don't find the barracks, it is actually worse. But, well, this barracks is gonna get spotted. Oh, that's very unfortunate here for Gumiho. So, this barracks is like, what, 70, 60% done or so? Oh, baby! What is that? No way. You beast. Oh, that was such a beautiful move. Man. I think that's great. That is just fantastic play. You know that? That is just fantastic. That is just great, innovative, in-the-moment thinking. How many times do you think this scenario happened on this map? Never. He just saw an opportunity and took it. Man, that was so nice. Pooh. Come on. There we go. That was such a good play. Freaking the depot. That's the brain that we're talking about. See, this is what the regular Terran lacks. It's the ability to think. That was very cool. I really appreciate it. What I was saying before that is that right now, like that barracks just finished at a normal time, right? It might have been delayed by 3-4 seconds. MaxPax is also delayed by quite a bit. So all of his timings here are just kind of significantly off. Look at that. That Adept is out 2 seconds later than it usually would be. That Nexus is 4 seconds later than it usually would be, just because of that early scout. So yes, you get the information, but you're not capable of doing anything with that information. So how great is it really, is my question then. And I don't know what the answer is. So despite this being the fastest scout possible that MaxPax went for, it is useless. It's more of a harassment tool. And as a harassment tool, it might be good. But as a quick scout to make sure you're not getting proxied, I think it's relatively crap. I think this is worse against proxies than most other openers. I think a no scout is better against proxies than this particular opener. It's gonna lose his Adept as well. Poor start here for Max, but this is literally one of the worst possible starts altogether that he could have had. Loses the Adept for free. I'm not sure why he sent it across the map in the first place. Perhaps to get some type of confirmation, but his probe died semi-recently, so I'm just proper confused to see all of this. I'm really quite confused. Barracks is being added in here, as it's going to be a mine drop follow-up. Our sea monster is still keeping an eye on things here in Oceanborn. Observer just showing what everyone is aware of. And once again, MaxPax wants to follow this up with a, well, most likely going to be a 3-gate blink build order. I've been talking a little bit with MaxPax. And we talk about, you know, we really get into the nitty-gritty details. We can argue for days back and forth about something very minor, or have an agreement about something for a couple of days. And lately our topic of discussion, or his topic of discussion, has been the gases when you're playing a 3-gate blink build. So before, we'd often take a 3rd gas before taking a Nexus when you play 3 or 4-gate blink. But nowadays, both of us are very convinced that not taking a 3rd gas is the appropriate way to playing it. And as I say that, he takes a 3rd gas. So I'm gonna have to send him a message on Discord now, because this is making me look like an idiot. I swear to God, he's been telling me all about this, the no gas, and I've been playing. It's like, oh, no gas before the 3rd base. It feels spicy, you know. We both like to transition into charge anyway. Maybe this is because he wants to go into Storm, though. If he wants to go into Storm as a follow-up, I'm okay with it. I've been seeing him do that every now and again in the past few days. So maybe that is what's up here. I can't believe he's doing this to me, though. Here I am with some insider scoops, and then the scoop is wrong. God, life ain't fair. All right. No third base quite yet anyway here for MaxPax, as he adds in an observer. He has a lot of gas floating. Really makes you wonder whether that third gas is the correct call here. I would say no, but then again, who am I? He has very little stalkers in general, as Gumiho has a god-awful setup here in his natural. And his main is completely open. Well, his natural is safe. The setup in his natural is fine, but his main is completely open. Did he forget that stalkers have the ability to blink into the main base? What a naive defense here coming out of Gumiho. He's gonna end up losing a bunch of units as a result instantly. This is incomprehensible to me. We've been in the 4 or 3 gate blink arc for what feels like 9, 10, 12, 14 months now. I mean, you should note they have something in the main base as well. There's no bunker in the natural. This is insanity. As MaxPax here blinks in, snipes the first tank. Gumiho here not looking like a GSL finalist at all with these moves. As he's, well, honestly failing some basic IQ tests here. Very, very odd play coming out of our Korean Terran. Maybe just completely misreading the situation. I don't think he realized he was playing against 3-gate blink, but there was no third Nexus yet when he flew in with his medevac. When he flew by with his medevac, I should say. They're gonna get another blink forward here as Stalker's being picked up. MaxPax showcasing that famous pickup micro as he loses 4 Stalkers without picking them up. But still, it's a good trade nonetheless. 81 supplied to 76. 3 Stalkers have gone down. 10 Marines, 1 tank, and an SCV. That beautiful little overlay. Okay, now we have a tank being set up in the main base. There's still 3 tanks out. It's not the end of the world. I think Gumiho's position really was a phenomenal one. And the fact that he's still somewhat in this game, it tells you a whole lot. We're lacking serious gas mining, though, coming out of Gumiho. And he hardly has any gas. Doesn't have a 4th refinery. I saw his 3rd refinery was mining with like 1 worker. There is a Dark Shrine on the way here for MaxPax, which I freaking love. There's no Raven defensive lead for Gumiho. And now 2 DTs are being warped in. This could actually be the end of Gumiho here. See what he's paying attention to. Okay, he's looking at his army. Does he see that DT? I don't think he did. I don't think he saw that DT at all. There are a lot of scans available, though. 2 in the natural, 1 in the main. Yeah, actually, well, it just said maybe 3 in the natural. Nah, that's 2 in the natural as well. 7 SCVs going down as Stalkers find this Marine tank army mid-map. Still some scans available. Depots will not finish. It's okay. No way, the Gumiho's getting supply blocked with these worker losses. As we're just gonna get a big SCV pool over here. So Gumiho says, hey, I've had it with you and your DTs and your harassment. Good luck, my dear friend. Let's see how MaxPax is positioned here. Is he just on top of the ramp with his entire army? Mr. Observer, how about we show the freaking fight? There we go. As a massive force field does land. Well, not entirely, but the tank is blocking the rest of these Marines and SCVs from walking through. Okay, they're now kind of streaming in. Another force field is available, I think. MaxPax moving forward. Loses a bunch of Zealots as they weren't properly split off from the army. Once again, Gumiho tries to siege up here. Loses a medevac. He only has 1 medevac remaining with this push. 34 Marines, 4 tanks, and a single medevac. 4 bases being built here for MaxPax. That allows him to give up this base if he wants to. If he believes he needs to wait for more Zealot warp-ins, I think he might need to. He is going in. He believes he can do it. He runs out right now. He needs to start sending these probes to a different base. There we go. Sends him away instantly as Gumiho here has unsieged all of his tanks at the same time. Now resieges them, unsieges them again. This is costing a lot of time, though, as this leapfrogging motion is going too slow. 1 more stim needs to be used, but there's no medevacs for healing. Tanks being targeted down by the Immortal. Zealots coming in with a flank as well. Colossus helping out. DT in there smashing stuff to bits and pieces as well. GG's gonna get called as MaxPax wins this game and thus wins the series in a very quick 16 minutes or so versus our good friend Gumiho. That, my dear friends, is going to be it for me today. If you did enjoy this, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.